Good morning and welcome to Lighthouse Stamping with Lorraine. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Vancouver, Washington. Thanks for joining me today. Before we get started, the housekeeping notes, all the product I use and all the dimensions will be listed below. There's a link to my online store if you wish to purchase any of these products. There is a link to our Facebook group. We'd love to have you join that. There is my email address if you have any questions. And finally, please remember to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube to help me grow in YouTube world. Today we're going to be playing with Hey Chuck and Trucking Along. Now, I needed a card that was funny. And it needed to be a Thanksgiving card. Now, you're not going to find many sentiments for a Thanksgiving card that make it funny. So I'm going to show you what I did. This is my last resort when I can't find the stamps to do what I want. I go to my computer and I let the computer, I pick a funny font or something that works, and then I type up what I want and I print it out and cut it out of a piece of cardstock that I ran through my printer. This is not the most ideal way to stamp. I prefer using stamps, but sometimes you need it because you just can't find the sentiments you want. So the card we're making, and I'm going to show it to you now. There's a little envelope that says special delivery. I'm going to go ahead and move these guys out. And this is our card. Hold that up. It says, help, I'm not a turkey. And when you look it over, it just says Happy Thanksgiving. And I guess I have a Thanksgiving stamp, but I wanted the font to match the front. So it says, help, I'm not a turkey. And I thought putting it on the paper and stuff made it so funny. I liked it, and everybody else that's seen this thought it was very funny too. So I'm going to show you how to make my little funny Thanksgiving card. So before we get started, let's go through some of the product we need. Of course, we're going to need an envelope. We need a bunch of scrap white. We need a base. This is copper clay, and this is 11 by 4 1/4 scored at, let's start over. It's 11 by 4 1/4 scored at 5 1/2. All the dimensions are below. This is the Autumn DSP, and yes, I know that it was out of stock. It was back in stock, and it's out of stock again. But I know many of you do have this. And you could use other DSP. It doesn't have to be this one. You could use the one horse open sleigh paper would work for this as well. And you don't even have to have a background like this. Smokey's joining me today, but I think she's going to get kicked out real soon. And she actually wants to leave, so just one moment. Come on, Smokey. Smokey, go. Go. Out. Go. No, out. Sorry about that interruption. I had a feeling she wouldn't want to stay. So, paper, 5 1/4 by 4. Now, you're going to be trimming some off this paper. I'm not sure what part this is from the first one I cut. But the back side is this beautiful copper foiled paper. So you need a piece that is 5 1/4 by 1/2 inch. And it was just a piece I cut off of along here when I trimmed this. I trimmed some off the bottom and the top, and then I just took a piece of it for the inside. And then we need a piece that is 5 1/4 by 4 for the inside. So let's do our stamping. So what we need to stamp is our poor chicken. And we're going to stamp him in Memento first, so he can set for second. Oh, looks good. So we'll set him aside for just a moment. So he can, I always like my Memento to set for a few minutes before I move on. Now, the front of the card is going to have copper clay ink. So I wanted to pull in a little more of that copper clay. So I just said special delivery. Something very simple. The next color, actually we need to use black again, I forgot, is we are going to do our truck, and our truck is going to be done with Memento. Oop. And I know for a fact my truck will be much better if I put the mat underneath. Very good. Now the tires, I'm going to try to line these up. You could just color the tires if you wanted, but I'll try not to get my head too far in here. If you put it on a big block, you don't want to put them on a small block, on a big block. Lines up just like that, nice and even. This particular stamp, take and set it on your desk, let it relax for just a second or two. Make sure it's not been distorted, because you can actually bend these. And then put it on a large block that you can see all the way around. And that is the easiest way to get those tires lined up if you're having problems. Our truck is going to be out of Cherry Cobbler. Get the truck all lined up. Just like that. Now we have a nice red truck. Now, I know this is not back in stock, but it will be soon. This is very easy to fussy cut too, but I am going to punch it. Just like that. Okay. Next, we need to do some coloring on our little guy here. So I've pulled in a few colors. Bear with me for a moment here. Okay. And I want a piece of scrap paper because we do bleed through, and I don't want ink on my board we're going to be working on. So I did do a lot of fancy coloring with this. We are going to start with the light Poppy Parade. She'll stop in a minute, and that's for his tongue. And the dark Poppy Parade, we're going to put on his little thing here. She's a little cranky, but that's okay. And I'm going to grab dark Daffodil. And this is for his beak. Like that. And then we're going to grab some pumpkin pie. And this is the light pumpkin pie. Just going to put a little light pumpkin pie up here. And I'm going to add a little bit of dark pumpkin pie. Just a little bit here at the tips. And it doesn't matter. You can go light and dark and blend that a little bit. And let's do his tail a little different. Let's start with the dark. So I'm sure you don't have to. I'm just putting some little striations at the tips here. I am sorry about the noise she's making. She's being very relentless. She wanted out. Now she wants back in. Just one moment. Hey, get in here and be quiet. She can hear me, and she can't see me from this. She can only see a certain distance because she's mostly, for the most part, blind. So she hears my voice, and then she wants to know where I'm at. I'm right here, baby. Yeah, it was not something I'd planned on having, was a cat with a sight problem, but, you know, the good Lord must have had a reason for having me pick her out. So just do a little coloring light there. And now we're going to grab the light, no, it's the dark Lemon Lolly first. Just doing a few, just putting a few little highlights in here and doing the top part of his eye here. And then the light Lemon Lolly. Yeah, she came in, she's got a blanket in here, and she's laid down on her blanket, and she's perfectly content now. She just had to know where I was. So, I'm not doing his feet because you're not going to see them. I just did the top of his little drumsticks and his legs. So we're going to take and cut him out, and then we'll put the card together. It's a pretty easy little card. There is a die to cut him out. And there's my plate one. And guess what? I have new plates. Never been used. The other ones have so many cracks in them that I thought it was time to replace them because I couldn't even hold it in straight in here. I'm just lining up all of his little pieces here. It's going to jump on me. Since I went to work to color him, I don't want him jumping. Well, the new plates, no more. Yeah, sometimes you do need to get replacement plates because they do wear out. They're not meant to last forever. So there's our beautiful rooster, and there's the truck. So what I did when I cut those out, I ran several, just so you know, I ran several different sizes of different fonts and made some larger and some smaller because I knew I wanted two different sizes. And then once I was happy with that, I just ran it off. So it is a waste of paper, but I use the rest of it, you know, big hunks of it. I use, it's white, you know, basic white cardstock. Run it through. This isn't, but run it through, and then I cut them out from the basic white. But this is what I did to solve my problem. And then I've already fussy cut them. They're not very big, but it does the job. So let's build this card up. We'll start with the inside first. Get rid of all these. Okay, so the inside, I'm going to go ahead and glue this in. Like I said, it's not a hard card. It was just someone seen the truck, and then they said, can you make a funny card? And I sat there looking, and I'm like, and then the Hey Chuck was sitting on my desk. And I thought, why not put one of the roosters in the truck? So, and then we're going to go ahead and glue this on if I can pick it up. No, you're stuck in here now with me. You've got your blanket and your baby over there. And I'm coming about a ½ inch down from the top. Did get a little too much glue, but that's okay. And then I'm going to put this in, and I'm not popping it up or anything because it is inside the card. Just put a little bit of glue. Spread that out. And that's about middle. Just like that. I didn't burnish this, I know that. So then this one, I said that other piece came off this. Actually, it came off the first one I made because, oh. Well, this one's going to be a little shorter. I miscut my paper, evidently. That's okay. I'm not going to worry about it. I didn't cut it at 5 1/4. I cut it at 5 inches. So you could cut it at 5 inches and leave a little bigger border. It's fine. It just looks different than the first one. Next we need to do is hook our bird. And I want his little feathers to come over and tuck him down here, and his little legs stick right behind there. And if you flip him over, you can use tape, which I do a lot of times, or since I'm going to pop it all up on dimension, not little ones, on dimensionals, we'll just get it into position. Sometimes you make mistakes and they, you know, the border's a little different, but it works just fine. And unless you're doing something strange, the people you're sending it to, they're only getting one card. They're not getting all of them. So when I make little mistakes like that, I really don't worry about them that much. I need one more. But I just wanted to show you, even demonstrators, you know, we don't always find the verse we want. And if you can't, sometimes you just have to make your own. In this case, I want to put him about like that. So we can all rush off and save the poor little thing. And I think I have room for one here. Yeah. And let's see what a mini does over on this side. Ooh, mini's even too big. So let me grab my snips. Well, make us one. This is the edge of my minis. Or you could use glue strips and use those. Those might fit on there as well, too. And I want this up here. And I don't care if it's straight or anything. He's yelling. Oh. It would help if I take the back of the dimensional off. So, this card, I did not add a ribbon. I didn't add a bow. I didn't think it needed any of that. I just kept it really simple. Help, I'm not a turkey. Happy Thanksgiving. So, I hope you like my silly little card, but sometimes you just got to play around with what you got and go for it. So, I will see you on Wednesday and have a good day. Goodbye.